Hi, and welcome back in a sheet metal workshop, and in this video we're going to make a T-piece reduced, and a T-piece reduced looks like this here. I already have an example. So we go here with a pipe diameter of 150 millimeter on a bigger size of 250 millimeter, and it's about this piece here, so it's reduced. Just like a reducer, only as a T-piece. Now, you can measure it from the center or from the short side. So the short side is 100 millimeter, or from the center, well, you do just half diameter and that will be 225. Okay, well, that is what's all about in this video, so let's get started. Okay, now I'm gonna write down another time the information. So we have here a diameter of 150 millimeter, and we have a big diameter of 250 millimeter, and we want to make a T-piece with a length of 225 millimeter from the center. Okay, well, that's what we are going to do in this video. So, as always, first what we do is we're going to make here, scratch here a working line of, for example, 20 millimeter. Now, if you already know how to make a T-piece or a reducer, well, that is nothing else. It's almost the same, only it's mixed. We do a mix of a reducer and a T-piece at once. So we start with a bigger diameter of 250. That means we need a radius of 125. So we go here from point 0. And skip step. 0. And we do here 125. We're gonna mark it. Well, those fine line was almost dried out, so now so that's a quarter of my diameter, and we said from the center or from the short side it should be 100. So we have here these 100. That means from the center line it's 225 millimeter. Okay, we're gonna mark just here, and now I'm gonna pull up a straight line. It's not so good to see. I'm gonna use another color just to see it better. Okay, now, and then because it's the smaller diameter is 150, that means the half is 75, a radius of 75, that makes a diameter of 150. And just we're gonna make also a quarter circle. Doesn't matter if you go to this side or this side. I'm just gonna pick up here this one. And we're gonna divide this quarter circle in 3 equal parts. Okay. So the next thing what we do is we're going to connect this outside line, and there where it falls on the circle, so actually the tangent point, tangential point here, so it's somewhere here. You can here see the circle line outside, so this is actually my outside radius line. Okay, well, it's hard to see. And what we do next is that what we divided the circle before, also we're going to pull him down on the 90 degrees on the line here. So here and here. And the next thing, what you also can do is you can check here, if I put here this 90-degree angle, exactly here on the point, see, it will go here through the 0 line. It's hard to see. All my fine liners have dried out, see, so this is here a 90-degree angle, just for a check. Okay, now what we do next, from this S point, so we're going to call this point S. From point S, we're gonna pull those lines through those points we have marked, and there where it touches the circle, here, and the next one is in here. So these are my lines. I can number them, for example, number 1, because this is also a line here, but it's already there, so I'm just gonna mark it for anyway. So this is number 1, we have here number 2, number 3, and number 4. So the next thing, now there where it touches the circle, we're going to pull them up, straight up again. So here, where it touches, we're gonna pull those lines to the outside line, so we get the true length. So 1, and this is here number 2, number 3, and number 4 we already have, so this should be number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now for so far we are good, and we're going to start making the radius, and therefore I need a bigger bow divider. So I have here a bigger one, and so I'm gonna hit here a little bit with a, so it won't slip away. And now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna pull first here the small radius, and now I'm gonna pull all other lines up. See here, the next one, And the last one, that's the outside one. Okay, so now we have pulled all those lines. So the next thing is, what we need is, we need the circumference of 150 diameter. And therefore, I'm gonna pull first a line here from the S point. Just random, I'm gonna just put it random, say we start here. Doesn't matter actually, as long as you have much space, but I'm gonna do it from here. So I'm gonna pull here this line. It's very hard to see. I'm gonna use this one now. Okay. Now I need, from the diameter 150, that is the 150 diameter, the circumference. Now you can do it on different ways to get the circumference. You can calculate it. So I want to know it, 150 by 3.14, it's 471. So I take here my metal measure tool and I measure it here, 471. Okay, it's too small. It's a little bit too small, so I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. And now I'm gonna get the circumference of 150, that's 471. So that should be somewhere here. What you also can do is, you can just take another layout. For example, I have here a layout 150 diameter. So this is here my overlap 0 point. And you can see, put it here, and actually you can use this divider here, but you have divided those sections from your T-piece. Or, if you're not sure, you can divide it with your bow divider in half. Means from this point once here, and we have here, and now we have half. So from the S point we pull up a line. So we have half. And now you can see here, see it's exactly the half. So I can make it a little bit rounder. So I have made it rounder so it's easier for those points you see here. Put here on this line, and here it's exactly divided. So the next thing is I'm going to pull up those lines up. So I didn't get all the lines from here, but that isn't a problem. So what I'm gonna do is Okay. Now we started, depends on where we want to have the seam. So I did here have the seam here on the longer side. So we're going to start with the seam, and the seam is then longer side. So now we're going to just point here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go back up. Okay, now the next thing is what we're going to do is connect those lines. Okay, well, that's almost our pattern. So the next thing what we do, I'm going to give some swage allowance of 15 millimeter. And again, connecting those lines. So now I'm going to give here 30 millimeters overlap, because of the other side I don't have much space. So I'm going to give here 30 millimeters overlapping. So now the next thing what I'm going to do is to cut it out. Oh, almost forgot. So I'm gonna give again here swage allowance, because if I'm gonna swage that, the diameter of 150 is not gonna be, it's gonna be bigger, and then it's not gonna fit anymore. So I'm gonna give here for about, well, 6 and 7 millimeter. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is cut it out. And this I'm gonna cut off at the galantine. So one here. So now it should look like this now. And what I'm gonna do is now is I'm gonna make some holes for the overlap. So 2.5, 15, 2.5. And I'm gonna use here this one. No, here this one we're going to take. Okay, now next thing is put in a swage, and we go to the rounding machine. And by the rounding machine, now you're gonna just turn it while you're rounding it. You're turning it just normal as a reducer. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now we're gonna screw it together. And we have here some rest. We're gonna cut off here this one. See? And now it looks like this. So, okay. We have here 150, 145. Okay, that is because we gave the swage allowance. So now I have here a pass piece. So I'm gonna put in a female swage in it. And we're going to change those wheels into flat wheels. So we have changed the wheels. Okay, I'm gonna let it a little bit slow down. Okay, see. So that looks good, I would say. Now let's have a look to see how it fits. So we have here the bigger diameter, and see, I will say it fits good. Okay, now we're gonna see if this one. And then this part comes here, so I'm gonna just hold it with those vice grips. One and almost number two. Okay, well, just got it. Well, that's it. So that's the reducer, T-pipe as reducer. Now we can drill here some holes. Okay, so as you can see, that's it, what we wanted to make. A T-pipe reduced big on small. Okay guys, well, thank you for watching. See you next time. Oh yeah, I hope you've learned something. See ya.